Hello, everybody. It's Stephanie Grams, CEO and founder of the Keepsake Business Academy.com. And you can get on the free newsletter at stephaniegrams.com. There are 7 reasons why a memory bear or keepsake business owner may feel like burned out and really just stressed out. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how to overcome those feelings. So, number 1 might be a high workload, juggling multiple different tasks and just not having any additional help. Maybe you can't afford staff, um, or maybe you never thought about having somebody help with the workload. One way to combat that is to prioritize each of the tasks, delegating the responsibilities when possible, and maybe implementing a more efficient workload system for yourself. Number 2 would be emotional investment. Well, creating these memory bears and keepsakes often involve working with sentimental items, and that means engaging with the customers, steering many of them through the really emotionally charged moments of their lives. And if you do this every single month, that can wear and tear down on you. So take regular breaks. I don't mean stop sewing, but what I mean is know what might trigger you, like what type of stories and so forth. Make sure you have boundaries with your clients and continue to practice self-care techniques like being mindful of who you are and why you do this in the first place. Um, Schedule one day off a week that you can just go and do something for yourself, and take a break every day. Schedule yourself a lunch break, just like if you were working for somebody else. Number 3 is perfectionism. There's no such thing as perfectionism, or being perfect, I should say. But we all want to have that perfect keepsake. And you have to remember, when you're making these keepsakes, chances are you're doing a beautiful job. And yes, over time you do get better. But don't be your own worst enemy. So step back. If you really don't like something that you created, ask a trusted person and see what their opinion is of it. Number 4 is the financial pressure. I have several students who are still working a full-time job, and they really want this business to take off and be full-time, which is why they joined KeepsakeBusinessAcademy.com in the first place. So one way to combat this financial pressure is to know the difference between how much money you want every month versus how much money you need every month. Okay, so number 5 is lack of boundaries. If you're failing to set boundaries between work and personal life, this will definitely be a struggle. You will be exhausted and really have a hard time disconnecting from work-related stress. So you need to combat that by getting on a schedule, knowing your work hours, days of the week you want to work and don't work. I take every Sunday off personally. Even if I have a pressing order, I take Sunday off. For me, that's the day that I focus on my relationship with the Lord, which I do every day. I'm not saying that, but Sunday's the day where I take the day off. I go and family. Number 6 is limited support. Now, I have had several of my students mention that their family does not believe that this little hobby of theirs will ever be a full-time business, and that will really do something to you emotionally. And so one way to combat that is, again, join Keepsake Business Academy, because I do have a private group where you do get mentoring and you do have that feeling of support from other students. All of us are very friendly and positive over there. So definitely come on over and join us over there. Number 7, uncertainty and competition. This is where I remind my students to define their lane and stay in their lane. And what happens if you don't stay in your lane is you start looking at everybody else's keepsakes around you and you start becoming your own worst critic. Instead of learning from others, you start to feel like you're not measuring up, that success is never going to happen for you. You start to look at your competition and think, well, you know what? They've got all the customers. And so one way to combat that is by staying adaptable, continue learning, and we do talk about that over at the Keepsake Business Academy. And just get better at standing out within your target customers. Just, overall, to combat your burnout as a keepsake business owner, that really does involve being proactive and having strategies and systems in place. Manage your workload, set boundaries, seek support, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. It is essential to prioritize your self-care, and, really you've got to recognize when you need to make an adjustment. And if you have to cut back on a few hours right now, that doesn't mean it always has to be that way. As always, I hope to connect with you over at keepsakebusinessacademy.com. Get on the free newsletter at stephaniegrams.com and have a great day. Bye, guys.